Yo, what's up, League? We're back with episode 4 of Commish's Thoughts here. We got Will up, and man, what's the Commish got to say? We about to find out. Let's go dive in. Let's check out Will's team that he drafted. Uh, there he is. I mean, this man got jacked up for Luca. Can we just say it? This man got treated wrong on draft day. Luca, highest player on draft day, highest player ever in league history. This man got juiced up for him. Shout out Willman. Stuck with his boy. Drafts Bam, Miles Bridges, Zach Eady. Love this pick. This is actually hilarious. Norman Powell, who's been really good. Aiton took a flyer on Aiton this year. Hey, man. Aiton's hit or miss this year, but not bad. Tari Eason, Peyton Pritchard, Buzelis, D. Lil, Whitmore. Immediately stashed D. Lil on the season ending IR. Taking D. Lil in the next year is my guess. Um, but let's check out his current roster. Still has Luca. Um, has Peyton Pritchard still. Norman Powell, and D. Lil and Edie. So he has 6, unless I missed someone, 6 of his original 11. Um, he's made a lot of moves this year. Uh, I'm interested to know the amount of offers he's gotten for Luca, and if there's been anything good. You can't trade Luca though. If I'm Will, I never would entertain it. Maybe when he hits 30, you start to entertain it, but for the next 4 seasons, absolutely not. Luca is your cornerstone. Um, I mean, Will's had some breaks, bad breaks with Edie. Edie's played 11 games this year. Unfortunate, man. And he's out. I mean, he's getting reevaluated in 6 more weeks. He's done for our year. That's just what it is. Edie's done for the year. His IR spots are taken. So if he gets another injury, like a long-term injury, obviously Hero keeps battle on a toe. Um, but long-term injury, it's just going to suck. It's going to be an active IR spot. Um, but Will has been very active. I can at least say that. If I'm Will, man, I mean, you still have your first, but you don't draft again to the fourth. I don't want to talk too much about your draft picks right now as we do that on the next one. Um, I don't think Will can win this thing. Not with the roster that he has assembled. If D'Lo and Zach Edey were healthy, I'm sure he could have a chance at this. Um, but I just don't think Luca, Tyler Hero, Norman Powell's been great. Like I said, Powell's been phenomenal. And hit or miss Aiton with a bunch of pickups can get you to where you want to go. If you do make playoffs, which he ends the season very, very easy, um, I'd probably be trying to get knocked out first round. If you don't make playoffs, which I would be trying to do since you do own your first, you're helping out whoever has your second and third. But you do own your first. You can guarantee yourself a top 4 pick, which I think would go really well with Luca, Hero, D'Lo, Edie. Me assuming you're keeping those 4. Um, I mean, you pair a top 4 player in next year's draft. We've looked at the players every video so far of who's going to be there. You could have a lethal 5. Obviously, we're looking at it. I know Will does not want to miss playoffs. He drafted the easiest division. These are one of those things. Like, I think you got to put the pride aside here. This team's not making a true run. I talked about it in a few videos back. I think there's only about 6 real contenders. Will's a pretender. I'm just going to keep it short and simple. He's too banged up. He needs. I mean, we don't know what D'Lo's going to bring next year at age 36. Also to Portland, but Edie, if healthy, it's going to be phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal. I mean, dude just gets boards. Gets boards. He's averaging 11.1 on the season. I mean, Edie's going to be really good if healthy. Luca's gross. Hero will be good. He's only played 10 games this year. But you get a top player there in the first round in the first 4 picks. I'm telling you, man, you need to be moving up. You need to get back in the second and third round the best you can. And dude, I'm talking about players, brother. You could possibly get some firsts for some of these players. Like I said, for these playoff teams, man, they're gonna get desperate when certain teams are sitting there looking real good, and they're like, man, I can't beat these teams in the playoffs, but I'm trying to win right now. I mean, we're talking guys like PJ Washington could be a help. Obviously, not a first or second type guy. Um, third or fourth round pick there. But I mean, immediately an upgrade from the seventh to get into the third or fourth. Um, Peyton Pritchard. I mean, unless you plan on keeping Peyton Pritchard, talking about shipping him to a contender. Norman Powell, same thing. And Aiton, man, you could pull yourself straight back into the draft and honestly probably you could argue have a nasty team next year. That's what I would be doing if I am Will. Um, does Will know how to trade? Will usually loses most trades he does. It's sad, but he does. Like I said, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I'll talk about him when we get there. But I'm doing everything I can to avoid playoffs. And if you do make playoffs, get knocked out in the first round. But you need to work your way up to the back into the second and thirds. And you have the players to ship. I know it's hard. It's hard to get rid of these guys. Say you're going to be bad, um, and send them to people that possibly will win ships. I expect a lot of buyers when our deadline comes around, but how many sellers will there be? Will could just say, "Nah, man, I'll rock with my one first and make do with fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round draft picks." I hope that's not how people think, but I think Will can. I mean, like I said, Will's got some real talent here to ship to some contenders. We'll see how aggressive he is with that, or if he just takes a different approach. Maybe he ships his first away and tries to go get someone to make a run. With this taken up, I just don't like his chances. But Will has a lot of leeway here to make some moves to get work his way back up in the draft. I wonder if he's aggressively shopping or not, or aggressively selling, I should say. But let's do check out Will's history. Will continues to pick up daily, as you see. I have it wrote down here. Shout out Will, man. Unlike now, Heath, I know has made a lot of moves this year. I didn't count his. I should have. But Will, 76 acquisitions. Could have miscounted that by one or two, but 76 acquisitions this year already. I think that number needs to fall off. Save your money. Work your way back up in the draft. But shout out Will, man. It's been a tough year for Will. Like I said, drafted a cupcake division over there and just couldn't do it this year. But hey, man, shout out Will, man. Puts in the effort. You gotta love that about Will. His trades, we'll check them out. Um, so this first one was the funniest trade I've seen. I talked about it for the first because this happened immediately, October 18th. I don't even know if there was a basketball game yet. Um, so him and Sean engage in trades. So Will gets Tobias Harris, Sean seventh, and $15, and he gives Sean Miles Bridges in his seventh. It's honestly comical that we're swapping sevenths, and he dropped Tobias Harris. So this trade went through. This happened on the 18th. So he dropped him on November 5th. So he held Tobias Harris for 2 weeks. So he traded Miles Bridges for nothing, for $15, I guess, because he got $15. Um, what a steal from Sean. Miles Bridges has played 39 games this year. I'm sure his percentages are not the best. Free throw percentage is good. He's making 2.3 threes, averaging 6.4 rebounds, almost four. His defensive stats are down, but regardless, what a terrible trade to start it off the year. Um, I mean, is either player making or breaking it? No, but I mean, this one's just hilarious to me. You literally traded Miles Bridges for $15 because you just pick swapped, and you actually gave Sean the better draft pick, which I would assume is going to be the better draft pick in the seventh round. Which a seventh rounder shouldn't be anything, but you never know. And then we get up to the league's first ever three-team trade. This is where things get a little interesting because I have to read this correctly. So here's everything that Will got, and he also got PJ. So from me, he got my sixth and seventh draft pick, and Tyler Hero. He ships away Bam to me and his second to me. Um, he gets PJ from Ryan for a third. So his third goes to Ryan. That's their only movement there is pretty much Ryan sent PJ Washington to Will for a third. I'm fine with that. I think that's probably right around the value of PJ Will was competing at the time. It gets Ryan some draft equity back because, as you see, um, well, you don't see the other things that me and Ryan did in this trade, but that was the Trey Young, Amen Thompson trade. Um, so that was the trade. I got 2 seconds back because I got one from Ryan, got one from Will. But just straight up, we'll look up Hero Bam swap. He sends me Bam in a second, and we'll just say a six to make it sound better. Like I said, you got to equal out the draft picks, but we'll say a sixth, and he got Hero, and I got his second. I mean, Hero has played 10 games. Like I said, Bam's been up and down, but pretty good on the season. 17 points, 9.7 rebounds, a steal, pretty much a block, averaging a three a game. He's been pretty good, and I have his second round pick, which should be somewhat good. I jumped up huge in the draft. I do feel like he lost pretty badly for now in the deal with me. Like I said, I mean, he sent a third for PJ Washington. It's wishy washy. Maybe a fourth could have done it. Maybe a third. Nothing higher, and that's what I like. Is like we'll see. I think PJ goes around that range next year in the draft, anyways. Um, so I think his and Ryan's was just a wash. But his with me, I think he lost pretty bad for now. Hero gets back to Hero next year. We'll have different looks on it, and we'll just have to see what that second round pick that he sent me turns into. But yeah, not the best track record here for Will on the trades. And we'll come over here, like I said, we'll look at his draft picks. Um, like I said, he has one in the first. He don't draft again to the fourth, fifth, 2 6, 2 7s. He needs to work his way back into the second and third. Possibly, I think Will could easily drop. I think he could lose these four and fly up into first, second, second. I mean, I think he could get another first, another second, another third, and maybe another second as well. I think Will has the team, the players on his team to sort of do what um, someone else has done this year. I don't want to talk about them because we're not on them, but we'll see what Will does. We'll look at who I think he's going to keep. Obviously, I've already talked about it. Luca Hero, D. Lil, Edie. Aiton as in the question marks. I don't know how people are going to range Aiton coming in the next year. Obviously, those are the four he's keeping. Like I said, if he can work his way back into the first, well, the first and second more, he has a first still. I mean, like I said, man, there's good players here to add with Luca Hero, D. Lil, and Edie. I think Will has a shot to have a strong next year and really build off of it. But I mean, running out of time to make moves, and not acquisition moves, trade moves, get back into the draft. Um, but I think that's what Will needs to be doing. I don't think he should be looking at trying to make playoffs. There's no way this team's making a run. It's too banged up. Like I said, he does have good players. Norman Powell, Brayton Pritchard, PJ when he plays. I mean, Keyshawn George ain't bad, but it's just, are you going to? I just don't think it's going to get the job done. And who cares? Like, if you don't get rid of these players and get fifth place this year, and that's your draft order, man, you're going to be hurting worse next year than you were this year because you have one pick in the first, 14, 28, 42. You're getting one out of 42 players gone. And then you start to get drafted again in the fifth, sixth, and seventh. Um, like I said, I know what I'd be doing if I had this team, but we'll see what Will does. I don't think Will do what I'm saying. I think he's going to focus on trying to win. I just don't know why. I don't know why. But good luck to Will on what he does the rest of the season. And I think Will be back next year with a better, stronger team. I hope. I think it'll be more competitive. And we're still looking for Will to win his first trade ever. Um, maybe next year. I mean, like I said, I mean, he could do it this year with the draft pick stuff. But we'll see what Will does. Glad this one's a little longer than the last one. But who's next up? Is it Brandon? I think it's Brandon. I think Brandon's our next one up. Where's it at? Where's it at? I think Brandon is up next. Yes, Brandon will be up next. That's a team to talk about because that man's made a lot of moves this year. So interested to see his draft day roster as well to the current roster and his moves. But This was all Will. We'll see Brandon on the next one.